You're watching RedChip TV, your source for small cap news.
Hi, this is Brad Klein coming to you from San Francisco at the RedChip Small Cap Health Tech Investment Forum at La Meridian Hotel, and we're glad that you're viewing with us today. We're bringing you some exciting interviews with some CEOs and some management of some companies that we're very happy to have here at the event. I'm visiting now with QRXPY Limited. This is CEO John Holliday. The symbol on QRXPY is QRXPY, and that's traded on the OTC QX. And John, welcome to RedChip Small Cap TV.
Thanks, Brad. Great to be here.
Yeah, tell us about QRXPY.
We're a specialty pharma company. What we do is we teach old drugs new tricks.
Okay.
So we found a number of old drugs that are available in the marketplace for which there are entirely unanticipated uses, which allow us then to more quickly develop those and ultimately commercialize them than if we were a discovery science company.
How'd you get into this market?
Well, the market's a big one for us. We're in pain and central nervous system drugs. And the pain market alone is about a $7 billion market for treating moderate to severe pain. And there's no real good product out there. Of course, it's an area with a long history. Right. Morphine, oxycodone, fentanyl, all these drugs that are rather widely known and prescribed. Mm-hmm. But the unfortunate part about them is they cause side effects, which really limit their use. And those side effects can be quite severe. So what we've done is we found that if you combine two of these old opiate drugs, morphine and oxycodone specifically, that you get synergy on the analgesia without the side effect profiles. So here we are able to develop a drug for this large $7 billion marketplace in the U.S. alone, $10 billion worldwide, with two old drugs that have a rather quick regulatory process.
And I'm guessing you've got some cost advantages with that.
Well, indeed. Certainly the cost of materials is really small relative to the cost of the product. But it's also a market where one wants to price these according to need and fairly.
Sure. And I mean, that's an interesting space. You've addressed a little bit about the size of the market out there with the pain management. Tell us a little bit about your background and some of your executive team.
Well, I'm a person that was in the science game for a long time. Published lots of papers. About 20 years ago, I left and co-founded a company called Medicis Pharmaceuticals, which is doing very well as a dermatology company, and then another company called Entremed. So twice before in the public arena, and then several smaller biotech companies. Personally, what I find fascinating is to take small groups of people and companies with very clever ideas and find rapid ways to bring them through the clinical development and ultimately commercialization. And that's exactly what we're doing at QRXPY.
And, you mentioned one project. Tell us about some of the projects and some of the milestones that you've hit and that you're looking forward to.
Well, when we took this drug company public 2 years ago in Australia, we inherited a portfolio of 6 different clinical trials, all of which had shown that this combination of morphine and oxycodone does exactly what we've said, and that is decreased side effects, still giving you very good analgesia. So based on that number of clinical trials previously, we've now taken this into phase 3 study. So we've de-risked the process a great deal. In phase 3, you've got about an 85% chance of having a marketable drug. And through the work that we've done, we've shown that, indeed, in large populations of patients with various forms of pain, surgical pain and others, that the patients are achieving very good pain relief and not showing the side effect profiles.
Well, beautiful. And before we went on camera, we were talking about some of the market dynamics and what's happened to a lot of companies in your space. Review that for our viewers.
Well, this is certainly a lean time for people in the healthcare and biotech industry. What we've seen is a convergence where the risks that have been taken off the table by developing drugs into late stages of development are not really rewarded by the shareholders. Companies that have got a lot of money in the bank can weather this storm. We're in the fortunate position of having 2 years of cash in the bank and enough money to achieve the milestones that then will add the value that will be recognized by the people that are interested in this sector.
That's right. Again, we're talking with John Holliday. He's the CEO of QRXPY Limited. That's traded on the OTC QX. The symbol on that is QRXPY. We're coming to you from San Francisco at the RedChip Small Cap and Health Tech Investment Forum. And about the stock itself, why should investors get excited about owning the stock right now?
Well, I think this is the time when investors are value shopping. They're looking for companies that are undervalued, that have a lot of potential and growth. We're among them. And I think, again, as I said before, with money in the bank to achieve our milestones, we're not like a lot of the other companies in this sector that are facing circumstances where they're hand in hand, less than 6 months of cash, and perhaps good products, but not the opportunity to make them into ultimately products in big markets.
Right. You're set up really nicely right now.
We are set up well. Yeah. We're not complacent about it, though. We realize that there are a lot of challenges. But we feel quite comfortable with the successes that we've achieved, that we'll achieve the success
good. Again, this is CEO John Holliday, QRX Pharma Limited. Symbol on that, on the OTCQX, is QRXPY. John, thanks for coming on RedChip.
Thank you so much, Brad. I enjoyed it.
All right.
This report is not a recommendation or solicitation to purchase or sell any security, nor does it constitute investment advice. Visit RedChip.com for full financial disclosures on RedChip clients.